Alright, this is session 4. My Asmodeus Tiefling Warlock.
The Blade of Frontiers. Let's hope Will lives up to his name. We'll need all the help we can get.
What's the story with that odd little artifact you have?
There's no story. None that you're entitled to hear, anyway. Just forget you ever saw it.
When you think of all that's happened to us so far.
We've been through quite a lot, with likely more to come. Care to narrow it down a little?
You must have thoughts about our little stowaways.
Must I? Thinking about it won't help. We know what to do, so let's do it. Find a way to rid ourselves of these things. Personally, I think finding this Halcyon is our best bet. I'm not too hopeful that a Gith crash will actually prove our salvation, but worth keeping in mind.
What will you do if we actually manage to remove the tadpoles?
I suppose we'd go our separate ways. Not a slight on your company, of course.
Where would you go?
Home. Baldur's Gate. There's someone waiting for me there. Someone I have to reach. As soon as possible.
Family, a friend, a lover?
Let's just say it's a very personal, very private acquaintance.
How am I holding up in your estimations?
You're not the kind of company I'd keep willingly, but all things considered, you'll do. And I haven't forgotten that you saved my life aboard the Nautiloid. Perhaps I'll be able to return the favor at some point.
We should get to know each other a little more.
Must we? No harm in a little mystery, don't you think?
You don't want to talk about yourself?
I should hope not. Have you ever heard the people who want to talk about themselves? I'm doing you a favor.
You're deflecting. Are you hiding something from me?
Say for a moment that I was. Do you think your blunt approach would get me to confess?
Blunt's all I have left if you keep being so evasive.
A shame you feel that way. Just don't expect me to entertain your questions if you won't respect my privacy.
So, we're traveling with the famed Blade of Frontiers. I feel safer already.
Tell me about yourself.
Oh, what's to tell? I'm a magistrate back in the city. It's all rather tedious.
The Githyanki people have a word for men like the Blade of Frontiers. Shalak. Roughly translated, idealist do-gooder. Or better yet, benevolent burden. His confidence is an asset. His pursuit of valor, not so much.
Are you sure crash is our only path to a cure?
Entirely. I was as devoted to my studies as I was to my training. Each creche contains a Zaithist purification device. So I learned from the writings in the Kalir Library.
That kind of wisdom is very valuable.
Countless scholars roam the astral chaos and cold fires rage. The plains are ever quaking, and their peoples ever shifting. The Githyanki possess an eternity of knowledge. Yet we still collect more. Infinities upon infinities.
You look so unusual. Githyanki are rare in these parts.
I expect I am your first.
I know of Githyanki, but I've never met one.
Of course you haven't. they would have cut you from navel to neck. You are no less alien to me than I am to you. I know of your kind, but I do not often encounter them. That large, fleshy nose of yours looks like a mistake.
As if your upturned bat snout is any better.
Better is an opinion, but mine is certainly more economical, disciplined, dignified.
Do you know much about mind flayers?
I understand much beyond your comprehension. More to the point, I know the cure for our condition. It is imperative we locate a creche. You do well to observe more and question less.
Do you know what happens if we don't find a cure?
Yes, in great detail. It starts with a fever and memory loss. Then you start to hallucinate. Your hair falls out, and you bleed from every orifice. Your bones will change form. Your jaw will split to allow room for 4 great tentacles. All skin will turn to gore and be shed to reveal new flesh underneath. Then you have ceased to exist, and a mind flayer is born.
That's not going to happen. We will find a cure.
Words forged in steel. May your actions express the same metal. We must find my kind and be rid of the parasite. It's as simple as that. The first symptoms should have long since started, though. That is what puzzles me. Fine.
The Blade of Frontiers at your calling.
How does the Blade of Frontiers end up chasing a devil in the hells?
Karlach's fires raged in Baldur's Gate before she escaped to Avernus, as my source told it, and she was planning to return. One of the archdevils Zariel's own, Chaos Incarnate, a devil with pure fire for a heart. I made my way to Avernus to stop her. She fled from my reach, even climbed aboard the Mind Flayer ship as it screeched through the hells. I followed in close pursuit. I can't bear to imagine the lives Karlach might be taking, the damage she might be doing.
It's not exactly easy to journey to the hells from the Sword Coast. How did you manage it?
A powerful friend with a keen interest in privacy. I'm sworn to say no more.
A powerful friend, like a warlock patron, perhaps.
You are a warlock. You know about bound souls and frozen tongues. I can only leave the rest to your imagination. Suffice to say, I hunt monsters, devils included, and I will do what I can to quench the coast of their flames.
Tell me, Will, how did you come to be the Blade of Frontiers?
My father once said, one does not pursue a champion's life. One merely answers its call. So it was for me. I was hunting near the Cloakwood when I heard it. A child crying out from a lone farmstead. I found him in the fields, flanked by goblins. His mother's corpse bled into the soil next to him. I don't remember much of the battle, but I remember drying the boy's tears after.
And he named you the Blade of Frontiers?
No, but he named me friend, and that meant the world. But what of the others? The children never saved, the cries never heard. In the boy's tears, I finally saw the suffering wrought by the villains of the wild. The Frontiers demanded a blade, and so I heeded.
And before that?
Baldur's Gate, born and raised, the only son of a single father. He wanted one life for me. I chose another. We haven't spoken since I left the city. A classic drama. A staunch father and his rebellious son. Better heard from the bard's lips than mine.
I've noticed your stone eye. Did you lose it in battle?
A most vicious one, in fact. It's made from pure bloodstone, carved from the Galena Mountains just north of the Moonsea. A reminder that sometimes blood must be shed and sacrifices must be made. But that story is reserved for lifetime friends and calmer days.
Lean in and examine the eye more closely.
Tiny grooves spider across the eye's surface. It resembles a sending stone used to confer with distant contacts.
Isn't your eye a sending stone?
A sending stone? Nothing so special, I assure you.
You watch and listen for signs of deceit, but sense nothing unusual.
About Kaga. What do you think of her?
Damn her to every hell. Feeding a precious child to a serpent. She might still be alive if we'd spoken up.
We were right to stay silent. This matter is not our business.
You turn a blind eye to this outrage. You're vicious as Korga. Her sort of evil is more terrible than most. She worships sheer cruelty and dares to call it justice.
I've known a few warlocks in my time. Talented, of course, though sometimes too eager to listen to the devils on their shoulders. Comes with the territory, unfortunately.
Tell me a bit about yourself.
Let's see. I hail from water. I have a cat. There.
I hate Gale. I want to know more about. I want to know about more than your hobbies. Can you tell me something about the real you?
Certainly. That I have a great respect for privacy, for instance, especially my own.
Try peering into his mind. If he won't open up, you'll sneak in. 15 or better. Not gonna happen. Nope.
Try as you might to breach his inner thoughts, Gale swats your efforts away with infuriating ease.
I have a very disciplined mind. Please don't try that again unless I invite you to.